Hi, we're going to concentrate on creating an After Effects video. It's going to be very similar to the Petrolicious channel here on YouTube. We're going to kind of recreate everything. We're going to use After Effects. Now, if you see on the bottom left here, you can see the little intro video, and you'll see this graphic. You know, it says Petrolicious. You got the car drives by, zooms by, and looks really cool, and it transitions into this expose on the automobile it's covering this week. We're going to do something similar, so we're going to use After Effects, Illustrator, Photoshop. We're just going to go on an overview. We're going to create the banner at the top of the channel. The little logo here, the Petrolicious, like the favicon. They're doing really fantastic work, and I love it. So I'm going to try to emulate some of it. Okay, well, what's the first thing that we want to do when we start this channel? We're going to go ahead and create a little favicon or a little icon. That icon's going to be a beetle. We're going to create other types of cars, a bus, a thing. But let's go ahead and look at the beetle. What do we do? Well, we'll go ahead and go on a Google search, look for a beetle. Basically, this is a blueprint layout. So it'll give us the profile of the car. We'll go ahead and open that up in Illustrator. And we'll go ahead and, create a rough, real rudimentary little car. Real simple. Create the wheels, copy, paste in place, go ahead and shrink it down, go ahead and add the, make it gray or white or whatnot, and just tool around with it. Basically, you want to have like a simple shape. The thing that's really cool on Petrolicious is their favicons, this really cool little race car with the driver in it. So we'll create something simple, something that emulates that type of look. And we all know that copying is the sincerest form of flattery, right? So the folks at Petrolicious are doing such a wonderful job. Let's go ahead and mimic some of what they do, and hopefully we'll have the same type of success. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So here we go. We'll just go ahead and create the basic shape of the vehicle. Use Bezier curves, circles, just something real basic, real rudimentary shape. It's real simple. Best way to do it is to create it in different layers. So you have the wheels on one layer, you have the body shape on one layer. Okay. And then we'll go ahead, we end up with this type of shape once we're done. We stylized a little bit, tweaked it, created the little banners that would slide along with the car as it animates in the video we're going to create. So we're going to be using these little icons, little cars, as animations. So we created a bus and a VW Type 187, which is that square looking car. Little gusts of wind that'll trail along behind the car. And they're real simple, rudimentary shapes. They won't take that long to create. If you're not used to Illustrator, just take your time. It shouldn't take long at all. I tend to bring the finished Illustrator icons into Photoshop just because Photoshop gives me a lot more flexibility. And I enjoy using Photoshop. So I create these in Illustrator. They look really cool. The next step is to basically layer them in Photoshop in a document that is the correct size, which is for HD and 29.97 frames a second. Well, that's the next step. Building up the graphics that we want to use in the little intro video for the YouTube channel we're creating. You want to go ahead and open up After Effects. I have it open here. And when you open it, you want to create a new composition. It's an HD video, it's 1080, so it's letterbox. The resolution, what's interesting about After Effects is that you can work at different resolutions, and when we're working, we want to go ahead and use low resolution, in this case quarter, so because otherwise it becomes a memory hog. What you want to do is go ahead and import the file. In this case it's a Photoshop file, and it's in here. So let's go ahead and find it. There it is. Go ahead and open it. Want to composition and retain the layer sizes, editable layer solutions, layer styles if you have any. We'll go ahead and open it. Now it's created this here. It created as a composition. So you can actually grab files from here and bring them in here into the new composition, or you can double click the Photoshop document and you'll see all the files, all the layers open up in it, just as you have it built. So this is what it looks like. Similar to what I had it in the Photoshop. And now I can go ahead and animate, turn off and turn on layers, identify layers that I want to use specifically, and twirl these layers down. You can see the different options that you have: layer controls, transform controls, and basic animation is positioning. You can see what happens here. I can move that bar left to right, and this is a timeline, and I can go ahead and move it in time. Like that. You'll see what it does. To create very simple graphic animations. It's really cool. Let's go ahead and look at the finished file. So we'll go ahead and open recent projects. We don't need to save that. So this is what the project ended up looking like after fiddling around with it. And it won't take you that long to actually build this. Just identify what you want the graphics to look like in time and moving. I wanted this video to last about 12 seconds. So what I did is I went ahead and animated things from left to right, just like Petrolicious. And there's a little transporter. And you can see the thing there moving across with a little swirly wind in the back. We have it gently fade into the title, air-cooled, bar air-cooled. And you can see right here I have it at quarter resolution, and it doesn't look really sharp. When you render, you want to bring this back up to full, so it looks very sharp, as you can see here. Otherwise, it's going to look pretty pixelated. You know, if you're kind of new with Illustrator, Adobe After Effects, this type of animation isn't that difficult. You keep your layers in your Photoshop document to, maybe 10. You can manage it pretty easily. I create more just because I want to be able to experiment. But the animation at the end is very, very basic. Very simple but clean. It looks cool. There it is. And very similar to Petrolicious. It's got the same flavor, but it's not a blatant rip-off.